let's talk about some of the world's greatest mysteries. We're going to journey to 5 places on our own planet that honestly still defy easy answers. These are the spots where, even with all our incredible technology, scientists are still kind of scratching their heads. It's so easy to assume we've got it all figured out, right? I mean, we have satellites, deep sea drones. You'd think every corner of Earth is mapped and understood. But as you're about to see, our world is still packed with some pretty profound mysteries. First up, we're diving into a realm of truly unexplained forces. These are places where the fundamental rules of nature just seem to get a little weird. Where compasses go haywire and things have a tendency to just vanish. Ah, yes, the legendary Bermuda Triangle. You've all heard the stories. This infamous patch of the Atlantic Ocean has this chilling reputation as a place where ships and planes have disappeared without a trace for decades. It's one of history's most fascinating and, frankly, spookiest puzzles. So, what's the scientific take on it all? I mean, sure, stories of alien abductions and time warps are fun, but researchers have some other ideas. Some point to really weird magnetic variations that could just throw navigation systems into total chaos. Others think massive eruptions of methane gas from the ocean floor could literally swallow a ship whole. And, let's not forget, this area is a hotbed for some of the planet's most violent, unpredictable weather. Still, no single theory perfectly explains everything. The mystery lives on. Okay, so from a force that makes things disappear, let's talk about one that makes things move. Just picture this. You're in the middle of Death Valley, one of the hottest, driest places on Earth, and you see these massive rocks, some weighing hundreds of pounds, with these long tracks carved into the mud behind them. For years, nobody had a clue how they were sliding across this flat, dry lake bed. So how in the world does this happen? Well, it turns out it's this perfect storm of incredibly rare conditions. First, you need just enough rain to create a super shallow pond. Then, the temperature has to plummet overnight, freezing that water into a huge, thin sheet of ice that grabs onto the rocks. Next, you need a gentle wind, not too strong, not too light, to catch this giant ice sheet like a sail. And finally, that wind pushes the whole frozen surface, dragging these heavy stones along for the ride. It's just an amazing example of nature creating a seemingly impossible magic trick. All right, so from a mystery solved by wind and ice on the ground, let's look up. Way up. Our next puzzle unfolds in the sky in this spectacular and absolutely relentless display of atmospheric power. Over Lake Maracaibo in Venezuela, something incredible happens. It's home to a storm that basically never stops. They call it the Catatumbo lightning, and this thing can happen up to 300 nights a year, just lighting up the entire sky for hours and hours. It is, without a doubt, the most electric place on the entire planet. And get this, during its peak season, this area can see more than 28,000 lightning strikes in a single night. Not per storm, per night. The scale is just staggering to think about. So why here? Why this one spot? Well, scientists think it's another case of a perfect recipe of ingredients. You've got warm, humid air blowing in from the Caribbean Sea, and it collides with this cold, dense air rolling down from the nearby Andes Mountains. This epic clash of temperatures, all funneled by the local geography, basically creates a permanent thunderstorm generator. Now let's leave the skies and dive into our next mystery. We're looking at some bodies of water that are, frankly, bizarre and seem to play by their own unique set of rules. Our first stop looks like something straight out of a horror film. Seriously. In the middle of this pristine white landscape in Antarctica, there's a glacier that bleeds a deep, dark red waterfall. It's called Blood Falls, and for more than 100 years, it completely baffled explorers. The secret, of course, isn't actually blood. It's a pretty simple chemical reaction, iron oxidation, or, in plain English, rust. See, trapped way down below the glacier is this hidden, super salty lake that's packed with iron. When that ancient water finally seeps out and hits oxygen for the first time in millions of years, that iron rusts almost instantly, turning the water that shocking blood red color. So, okay, we know why it's red. Mystery solved, right? Well, not exactly. That just opens up an even bigger question. What kind of life could possibly exist in that ancient, sunless, oxygen-free lake trapped under miles of ice? Scientists are pretty sure an entire ecosystem is thriving down there, but we've barely scratched the surface of what secrets it might be hiding. From the freezing cold of Antarctica, let's jet over to the sweltering heat of the Amazon rainforest. Because deep inside Peru, there's a river, the Shanay Timpushka, that is so hot, it literally boils. And I'm not talking hot tub warm. We're talking temperatures that can hit nearly 100 degrees Celsius, the actual boiling point of water. Any unlucky animal that happens to fall in is cooked almost immediately. And here is the real head scratcher. Usually, to get water that hot, you need a volcano nearby. It's geothermal energy. But the closest active volcano to this river is hundreds of miles away. So the question that stumps scientists is, what on earth is superheating this river? What kind of unknown geological force is at play deep underground? So what do all these incredible places tell us? From strange forces and electric skies to bleeding glaciers and boiling rivers, they all prove that even now, in the 21st century, we are absolutely surrounded by the great unknown. And that's really the big takeaway here. Each one of these spots proves that science isn't about having all the answers. It's about the thrill of the journey, of peeling back the layers of our world, one incredible mystery at a time. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? If these places exist, what other unexplained phenomena are still out there, hiding in the deep oceans, or the vast deserts, or maybe even right under our feet, just waiting to be discovered? Thanks for joining me on this one.